with all of you. This is just an exciting time for us to be hosting this, and we are thrilled about the speakers that we have tonight. So welcome. We're so glad you're here, whether you're here in the Zoom room or watching on the Eat Live page. Be sure and blow up the chat. Let us know you're here, and let us know what you're excited about as the speakers come in and talk.
Absolutely. So my name is Frank Davis. I'm a certified independent coach, and I lost 60 pounds on this program. And I'm not going to give you my full story tonight or right now anyways, but I want you to know, oh, there's our pictures. So our pictures are popping up. That's what we used to look like. So it's a little bit of a transformation for us. But Shauna coached before I did. And then because of her journey, I stepped into coaching. And as you see in the picture there with me, my scrubs, I used to work in cardiothoracic surgery, but basically this is all I do now. So we want to introduce 4 speakers to you tonight. And we're excited that you could join us and be part of this. And we're going to just kick it right off. At the end of this talk tonight, I'm going to talk about a video that I put together. It's something called the 4 Fives. So stay in touch for that or for the end of the video. But the first speaker I want to introduce to you is Erica. Erica is an Air Force flight nurse and been a client for a little while, done very well on her personal journey, but she just stepped into coaching about a week or so ago. So she's going to be talking on the topic of education. And Erica, if you could come off mute, take about 3 or 4 minutes and tell us a little bit about you and what you're excited about in education.
All right, good evening, everyone. As Frank said, my name is Erica, and I'm currently working as a flight nurse with the Air Force. And I am super, super excited about this coming on the program. I've just had a really rough year of transition for 2020, and I was just like, I've got to do something different. And I ran across Frank's page of some of the transformations that I called, and just after talking with Shauna, I was like, oh, I think this is something I want to do. And so once I learned more about the program, I'm like, wow, this is really hitting the mind, body, and just something that I can keep going. I'm just really excited about the education piece because it's like you always know what to do, especially being a caregiver and being involved in fitness and being in the military. But I had just kind of gotten to a point, I was taking care of everybody else, but not taking care of myself. But the education pieces with the habits of health and just going through the book and making me slow down, really think about why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I was like, wow, this is exactly what I need. And so, and even just connecting with the social community and listening to everybody else's stories is just such a motivation. And so my big thing that really helped me to transition into would I want to be a coach? Like, why not? I've always done something as far as helping other people, but then doing coaching keeps me accountable. And if I can show up for myself, I can show up for others. And so that's my story. And I'm just really looking forward to continuing the journey.
That was fabulous, Erica. Thank you so much for sharing. And we're so excited. It's always so exciting to have a client come into coach and then pop right into, or come in as a client and pop right into coaching. Because, we all know that coaching holds us accountable, and there's just so many benefits to stepping into that early on. So our next speaker is trying desperately to get into the Zoom. So we're going to move to our third speaker, which is Chris. And Chris is one of our seasoned coaches. We worked together years ago, such a sweet friend. And I was so excited when she stepped into this program as a client and was just always just, asking her, girl, you've got to be a coach. You'll be a great coach. So I was thrilled when she stepped into coaches. So I want you to hear from her tonight. She's got a great story, a great journey. And Chris, you want to go ahead and pop off mute and share with us?
Sure. Thank you so much, Shauna and Frank. And when they asked me to come on tonight, they wanted me to cover the topic, which I feel like is one of the most important components of health coaching, or of the program, and that is health coaching. So I started looking on the webpage, the Optavia webpage, for what they had to say about health coaches and what we have to offer as health coaches. So some of you may not even have an understanding of what it is that we do or what we have to offer, and maybe you're not taking advantage of all this. So I wanted to read to you what the actual webpage said that we do. So we provide guidance and encouragement related to the Optavia program, meal plans, choices, exercise, and general direction to clients. We provide one-on-one support to clients as it pertains to the Habits of Health system. We engage and we encourage clients to participate in the Optavia community, which includes support activities, calls, webinars, events, etc. So this was just a brief description of what we do as health coaches, but we all know that our coaches are so much more than that, and we are so much more than that to our clients. But I wanted to go over that and just to let you guys know that our health coaches are so much more. That they become our friends as we continue on the plans. As we continue on the plan, I'm so sorry. And I want to share a little bit more about my personal journey and what my coach meant to me on my personal journey. So let's go back before September of 2018, which is when I came on program. The first connection that I even had with the program was watching my coach, Shauna, go on and post her befores and after pictures. And she was so vulnerable with her posts. And so I just watched her continue to shrink for months before I even had the courage to reach out to her. But when I did, that was like I said, that was our first connection. And I didn't know anything about the program. All I knew is that I was already in a state of sickness. I had prediabetes, I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, and all of those things. So I was willing to trust my friend Shauna and take a chance and have faith in the program and step on. And as being my health coach, I went on to lose 80 pounds on the program. So like I said, it all begins like that, kind of with us. We have someone that we admire or someone that we're following on Facebook or some type of social media. And that's where we get the knowledge about the program. We learn to trust the person that we step into, our health coach. And this is why so many of us end up becoming health coaches, is because not only are we growing physically, but we're growing mentally. And we get to a point where we know that we have something so powerful that can help others. And normally we use that and go ahead and start helping other people in our journey. So I wanted to say all this to say that if you're not taking advantage of those weekly calls with your health coach and tapping into the amazing resources that you have with your health coach, please do that. It's so important to your journey, and it helps you to have optimal success with your journey by tapping into your health coach. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was amazing. And I have just so enjoyed watching you blossom as a client and now a coach, and, just grow into this amazing journey. So thank you so much for sharing and being so vulnerable tonight.
Absolutely. Both of our speakers so far have done an amazing job. And our other speaker, Janine, is texting me. She's having some trouble with her internet and logging on. We hope she will still be here. So Mohammed, this is a 30-second warning. All right, we're coming to you as the fourth speaker. So get ready. So but
before we do that, pop into the chat if you don't mind, and give a shout out to your coach, since we just came off that subject. And let us all know what you've learned from your coach and what you love the most about having that relationship and how important that is to you.
Perfect. Yeah, great advice. And the chat is blowing up. A lot of people making comments. So I want to introduce to you the next speaker. Mohammed is not a coach, okay? So Mohammed is a client, but he's done very well. In fact, he's our client. He's done very well on program, and he's also a physician, and he's a neurologist. And neurology, they study, the brain, and they know a lot of things about the brain. So he was a perfect person to talk about the mindset portion of this program. And I want him to take a few minutes with you tonight and tell you all what he's excited about, how he's done, and how mindset is so important with this program. Take it away, Mohammed. Come off mute.
Thank you so much for having me, Frank. It's nice to see you all tonight. I appreciate being here. One of the most exciting things about being a neurologist is that I get to read and learn a lot about the brain, how it works, what can go wrong, how different medical problems can affect thinking, memory, vision, hearing, sensation, mobility, coordination. As a full-time hospital neurologist, I also see people on a daily basis where their medical problems actually catch up and start to affect how their brain works. And so it's a huge impact. When I first met Frank, it was actually May of 2019 on LinkedIn. He friended me, and I carefully watched his posts, and I saw all these people being very successful with their not only weight loss, but just becoming healthier. And this sort of intrigued me, but I have to admit, it took me an entire year before I actually reached out to Frank and said, you know, I had started to develop pre-diabetes. I came down with an episode of shingles, even though I was only 41 years old. And so that was a clue that like my body wasn't working well. And working in the hospital, I sort of realized that I needed to do more. And so I was in denial because I was never obese. I was always close, but you just sort of accept certain situations. But I thank Frank and Shauna for all the motivation they've done for me. You know, when you think about the mind and the brain and how all of this connects, I really love how Dr. Anderson has called this, his book, Habits of Health. Because a lot of times when we think about the brain, we think about our decisions, our higher level thinking, our human part of the brain, but really it boils down to habits. And habits sort of become automatic. And the area of the brain that actually is involved with developing habits is the deep brain or the basal ganglia. So when I have two little girls, 3.5 and 1, and Lena and Layla are the loves of my life. My wife, Michelle, also. But we just, it's very interesting because having seen them when they first start to walk, they start off very carefully, they're sort of uncoordinated, but it doesn't take very long. Even within a few months, that basal ganglia starts to kick in and you sort of walk automatically. So when you adopt new habits, Dr. Anderson in his book says it takes an average of 66 days to actually adopt a habit to become more automatic. And so many times, you think about New Year's resolutions and how people sort of start off with these higher level decisions, but then because it's hard to incorporate habits into your life, you're sort of having to voluntarily think about them and do them. And so one of the great things about this program is I think it helps people become automatically in tune to picking good habits so that you're not even really thinking about it. You actually start to think about all the other things you're voluntarily thinking about. But the same way you can sort of watch a person how they walk, and over time they have a certain mannerism. And you could see somebody you haven't seen in 10 years, but you see them from the back, and you say, I think that's so-and-so based on how they walk. Well, it's automatic. And I hope that for those of you who are sort of just starting out in this program or thinking about this program, I hope you will reach out and be able to adopt some of these habits. It's definitely worked for me. I've lost 27 pounds and been able to keep it off now for at least 3 months. So, but I'm still a learner in this program, and I think I read the books, I see the posts online, and it's been so great to be able to engage all of you in the community and just learn so much. So thank you so much for having me.
Wow.
Wow. So that was amazing. I see Janine is now here, so she's made it to the page. So Janine, this is going to be a quick little warning. We're going to give you a heads up. So we'll introduce you in just a minute, but let me just comment on Muhammad. Okay. He's a client. He's not a coach.
Yeah.
And it's been a pure joy coaching Muhammad through this program. And I've learned as much from Muhammad as he's probably learned from me. In fact, I probably learned more from Muhammad, okay? So we're always, the other night I was talking to him on his check-in call, and I'm asking him about migraines and Bell's palsy or something. So I'm always learning from him, and I'm learning about habits. And he is just a model client. He's always in his life book and his Habits of Health book. I think he's read it like 3 times. So I'm thrilled that he was able to be here tonight, and as well as everybody. But the last speaker that we want to introduce you to is another physician, and she's done well on her program. She is a trauma physician, works in the emergency department. She's also a critical care internist, and she's done great as a program, and she just stepped into coaching. She's got several jobs. She bounces back and forth from a couple different states, but she just stepped into coaching about a week or so ago. So Janine, I want you to kind of share a little bit and talk about the community and talk about why you stepped into coaching and what you're excited about. So come off mute and take it away.
All right, can you hear me? Am I off mute?
You are.
Okay, good. I'm having some technical difficulties, sorry. So I'm Janine Walters and I'm an ER doctor. I work both here in Colorado and I travel back to Idaho and work at the VA there, and I work both inpatient and in the ER. And I just got, tired of seeing pictures of myself and saying, oh, that's a bad angle, and then, oh, that's a bad angle. And pretty soon it was like, okay, it can't all be bad angles. And so I came across Frank and Shauna on LinkedIn and joined the program. I think it was in September sometime, and it took me a while to get ramped up and do the things I needed to do, but I've lost over 25 pounds and I have so much more energy for all this travel that I do for working, and I just feel so much better. I've expanded my wardrobe. I was wearing the same pair of camouflage pants for about 8 months now. And I just feel great. And this community is very helpful. I mean, from the tips on, I didn't know what a dash was, and that saved my life. I love that little thing. And the tips and suggestions and knowing that everyone's going through the same thing, and the encouragement is just something that I've never had on a weight loss group before. And I wanted to step into coaching because I know how much better I feel, and also as a physician I see what being overweight can not only lead to in terms of health problems, but how it compromises your care when you're in the hospital, from just moving yourself on your cot, or if you're having to be assisted by nursing staff, those cots, you sink right into them. So if you can't move yourself, you can't get the best care because you can't mobilize. So there's so many reasons I want to join or I want to be a coach. And I've got my family member already excited about it, someone in my family that's never expressed an interest in losing weight before. So I'm really excited that she is stepping into the program as well. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm sorry I got a little flustered by not being able to get on the screen here, so I hope I didn't ramble too much.
That was great. You did fabulous, Janine.
Yeah, really good job.
Yeah.
And Mohammed and Janine are both physicians, and Erica's a flight nurse, and Chris is a teacher. But there's other physicians on here as well. So look around. Michael Ogden's on here. He's a physician. He's a pediatrician. All right, you got Siata on here. She is a sports medicine physician. Chuck Marting is on here. Chuck, somewhere on here, I saw his picture. He's on here. He's a physician as well. And I'm probably missing people, but again, that's my world. Okay, I come from the healthcare world. So that's kind of who I was attracting and who I'm attracted to. But we're going to wrap it up with just a few things tonight. We really appreciate you tuning in. So what I'd like for you to do is in the last 10 minutes here of our video, if you've got any questions, if you could put those in the chat, we're going to do the best we can between us, Sean and I, and Dee, to answer some of those questions. So Dee's going to kind of look out for those. And Shauna's got a few things that she's going to share, and then we'll kind of wrap it up here in 10 minutes.
Well, thank you so much for those of you who shared. We are so excited, and we wanted to kind of pull together the components of the program and have these speakers speak on those because we feel like they're so important. The education and the coaching and the community. And then, of course, we have our amazing food component of our program. But, and then that mindset, it's just one of the things. How often do we say the 6 inches between our ears is the most critical part of our journey? And I just wanted to share a little bit of my story and kind of where I was before I came on this amazing program. My coach is Lori Cole, my dearest friend, and she talked to me about this program for months, and I turned her down for months. And then when I decided to come on the program, I was a hard, fast, don't you dare ask me to coach. I'll do the program, I just want to lose the weight, and I want to be done. And 2 weeks in, I had signed that dotted line to become a coach, because I knew once I saw this amazing community, I saw all of you, and I experienced, what we all experience, that I couldn't ever not be a part of this. I was unhealthy, insecure, felt totally inadequate before I came on this program. And doing this program, I lost 87 pounds, gained control of my life back, gained control of my health back. And some of the things that I feel now is, you know, I'm a leader. We have our own coaching business. I am the CEO of our own coaching business. I partner with my amazing husband. I'm confident. I feel good about myself. And those are things I never could have said about myself before this program. So not only did I gain control of my health and I added years to my life, I also gained immense control over, or gained so much with my self-confidence. And that's really big. It's not just about the weight. So, you know, dive into those books, really dig deep and explore some things about yourself that you may not know. And you'll learn that by digging into that life book. We are just thrilled and honored to that Dee asked us to facilitate this tonight. We're humbled to be in the presence of so many amazing coaches and clients. And if you have not,
that was on Sunday. They did it.
Yeah. I would love for you to get back with your coach and ask him some questions and, you know, write some things down, pop some questions in the chat. And Frank is going to come on and talk. And then I've got one little snippet I want to share with you before we close out tonight that I'm actually borrowing from Dee, something she posted.
Rent like a Jeep or something that can take the doors off. It's
So
warm
we're
out.
hearing some background noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute everybody and then Frank and Shauna again, and then Frank and Shauna,
Okay.
you just unmute yourselves, okay?
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay, let's try again.
Okay, perfect. So thank you, Dee. So I'm seeing a couple questions in the chat box. One of the questions is, how long after you start before you can become a coach? So great question. So again, that's a personal choice. We have some clients that start on day one. So they start their health journey and become a coach on day one. Shauna started about 2 weeks in as a client, and some wait down the road. And again, it's a personal choice. Why would you start on day one? As a coach, we're more accountable to our health, right? If we're going to be talking to other people, certainly we're going to be more accountable. So really that becomes a personal choice. And then the other question I see here is, how do you get trained as a coach? Again,
Great question.
Great question. I come from a healthcare background. In healthcare, we're always taught you got to know everything before you dive in, right? I'm not going to listen to somebody's heart or their lungs with a stethoscope until I know what I'm listening for, right? You know everything before you dive in. Unlike health coaching, though, health coaching, you're not expected to know anything. You just dive in. It's so much fun. You lean upon your seasoned coach. You lean upon your mentorship. Great couple questions. So as we wrap up here, I promised that I would talk about a video that I did a few months ago. That video, the full length video, is actually in the file section of this Eat, Live, Be Optavia page. So you go to the top of the page, you click on more files. I'm sitting in front of a fireplace and I'm talking about the 4 5s, 5 minutes a day in your life book, 5 fuelings a day if you're on the 5 and 1, connect with your coach, 5 minutes of one time per week. And the 4th 5 is spend 5 minutes a day right here on this community page. But all the details about how that can help you become successful are on that video. So as we wrap up here with the last 3 or 4 minutes, we're looking at the chat. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm trying to scroll down through. Any other questions that you want to ask, please pop it in there, and we're going to kind of try to address those. Shauna had something in which you want to wrap it up, and then we're going to turn it over to Dee to kind of close us out.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask you, how would things change for you if you reach your optimal weight and health? Think about that for just a minute. Some of you already know, but write it down tonight when we get off of this. Think about what's going to change for me when I change my optimal health and my optimal weight. And then I would like for you to write the story of your life. I mean, you write the story of your life. This is a statement that Dee shared tonight. You write the story of your life, one decision at a time, write a good one. And I loved that. I thought that was powerful. We are in total control of the story of our life, y'all. So if you, if you want to gain control of your health, you have the perfect vehicle. If you need to gain control of your finances, you have the perfect vehicle. If you want to change lives, you have the perfect vehicle. It's all right here, y'all. We have so enjoyed getting together with you tonight and so look forward to more of these. I think Dee's going to plan on doing these on a monthly basis with different coaches and different teams. And I'm so excited to see some of you come on here and share with us. And we're just thrilled. Thank you so much for taking some time tonight and popping on here.
Yep.
And
And thank you again to our amazing speakers.
Yeah.
Chris, Erica, Mohammed, Janine, thank you all for taking some time out on a Thursday night, sharing with us. And thank you to, there's a lot of clients on here. You guys are not coaches, you guys are clients. And we really appreciate you investing in yourself, investing in your health, investing in your mind to show up here tonight. And for all you coaches, we thank you for everything you're doing. You are impacting lives. You are touching lives. Our lives have been radically and positively impacted in so many ways, from health to wealth. And not that we're wealthy, but we're a lot better off than we used to be. But so we've been radically impacted in so many ways. So thank you so much for allowing us to share a little bit. Dee and Larry, thank you so much for having the confidence in us to allow us to share a little bit. And we're going to turn it over to Dee. Dee is part of our mentorship, along with the phenomenal Lori Cole, who's on here somewhere. And much thanks to Lori. But we're going to turn it over to Dee. Let Dee close it out here. We've got about 3 minutes left.
thank you.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Frank and Shauna. If you want to give those guys a shout out for the preparation and what they did, and to all of our speakers tonight. And this is something new that we're piloting. We did one of these healthy hangouts in December with some tips, got great feedback. And so if you're liking this, let us know in the comments. We'd love to make sure that we're bringing something valuable to you. And the fact that we had, I think, about 60 something on this call, we also had about 25 watching live in our Facebook group, is such a great sign that we're hungry for community, right? We're hungry to make this change in our lives. And what we want more than anything is that you guys realize that you made an incredible decision to get healthy. It takes courage to do that. But Optavia, hopefully you're seeing, is different than anything you've ever approached before. And so we don't want you to approach it like anything else you've done before. We really invite you to embrace each of the components that our speakers spoke about, and Frank and Shauna, because we call it integration, and every piece fits together. And every time we leave something out, like the education, or we skip the phone call from our coach, or we try to go at it alone, our success rate just goes down. And Optavia, we are in the business of success for you because we know how important it is. You made this decision to get healthy, and our responsibility is to help make that a reality for you. So, so thank you for that. And like you heard, many step into coaching because it can offer that ongoing accountability. You secure your journey and also bring you health in other areas. Like Muhammad talked about, the healthy mind, finding the time you want in your life, and also healthy finances. So that is something definitely to talk to your coach about and explore. So thank you guys again. We know it's getting late in the evening, so go get ready to have your rest for the night, because healthy habit of sleep is important. But thank you guys, everybody, again for being here. It's an honor to be here with you, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.